What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit. I'm fired up today because I'm back with some Age of Mythology, the Titans action, and we are watching the one, the only TNT. Okay, I'm sorry. I was listening to the song TNT, AC/DC. Great song, banger. Go have a listen if you haven't heard it in a while. Get you that pumped up action. Spawning at the bottom of the map in the green color, playing as Gaia. His name is Roberts. His partners today in the yellow color playing as Hades. His name is Ice Snow. And finally rounding up the team, it's Lewis741 playing as Zeus. Their opponents today, let's just say they're a bit of a terrifying clan to go up against. In the top of the map, you've got Fox playing as Isis. His partner today in the purple color, coming second place in King of the Gods 2 recently. So just to say if he's in form or not, I don't know. Joe as the set player. And in the bottom of the map, the first place finisher of Divine Intervention, Shelty the Shelton Snake. Shelty the Snake Shelton playing as Hades. In terms of just teams that instill fear in players, DoD is up there as arguably the most terrifying, just because everyone in their clan is ridiculously good at the game and they've got tournament results to back it up. Now, there's other clans out there that can go toe to toe with DoD, but the fear factor is there. The fear factor is there. We'll see how this game is gonna come out. It's interesting to see this this team of DoD opting in to the set Isis here on this map here. It's Oasis. It seems like we've seen a Ra ban for the time being. Let me have a quick check and see what was banned in this one. If I can have a quick looky see here. Yes, Ra was banned here by TNTB. It looks like DoD banned Uranus in this one. Interesting ban there. Uranus in a team game gets banned out. Interesting ban from DoD there. But we'll see what's going to happen. I love the Gaia pick here from Roberts. Getting in, helping out his team nice and early. The thing is though, and I want to be specific about this. The thing is, when you have Gaia on your team, you've really got to start thinking about alternative build orders, because you can get away with having 50 less wood, plus you can get away with having more wood income, which means you can get away with less villagers on wood in the early game. So alternative build orders, things like on an Oasis map here, potentially getting a really, really early husbandry out to fatten up those goats super early and have a good time with that. Those sorts of options don't get explored enough in Age of Mythology, in my opinion. Having those alternative build orders with the help of, say, Gaia, with the help of, say, a Thor, or maybe even a Set, for example, giving out, like converting Hunt over to partners and things like that, so they don't have to go and build secondary granaries on certain maps, could be a good way to go. But we'll see what the game plan here is for Team DoD here. Joe with the Set, Fox with the Isis. There is a huge timing attack possibility here for Joe and Fox. Like things like Joe going for a 2-town center fast heroic, Fox going for a 1-town center timing push, shifting sands in onto Fox's army as he doesn't have to send his units over to build there. Shifting sands in, Ancestors Isis, Ancestors Eclipse with all the siege towers, all the chariot arts, everything. There is some really, really big possibilities here for DoD. So TNT need to be really, really careful in this one. They've got to be really careful about that. The way to defend against these sorts of timing attacks from Egyptian on these sorts of maps is just get walls up. And I mean get a lot of walls up. The way that I see players like Skadi beating Egyptian is he gets really fast town centers and he just gets a ton of walls up, and he just prevents the Egyptian player from hitting anything meaningful in terms of a timing attack. And he gets in and around the back of their bases, getting sort of walls up on the trade routes. Obviously a little bit challenging in the team games, but it is definitely a way to go. As we are starting to see the gods coming through, Athena in for Ice Snow, Hermes coming through for Lewis here as well. That's an interesting pick here. We'll talk about that one a little bit if it is the case that Lewis is going for a centaur strategy. Over here, we see Roberts has already advanced through Leto. Up here, we've got the Athena in for Shelty. We've got the Bast in for Fox. And the Tar is in for Joe at the moment as a monument to the soldiers coming up over here. And he does indeed decide to go for that second town center. Has a bunch of these monkeys here as well. How many monuments? He's getting that second monument up. So a little bit late on that one, but not that bad. Wait, yeah, a little bit of a late advance time here from Joe. But it is Oasis, so advancing quickly on Oasis can be a little bit challenging. But getting that second monument up is really, really important for Set. It allows him to get a fairly consistent advance time on every single map by eating gazelles out. You basically need 2 monuments to afford any amount of gazelles. Having 2 monuments supports around about, I would say, my guess is about 10 villages on food hunting off those gazelles. So you want to get them out as fast as you can so you can get a few more things out. As we do see a little bit of a cheeky raid coming through here for Lewis. Bolts the Sphinx there, going to be sniping down one of Fox's villages. Good micro there from Lewis pulling his centaur away. But the priests here, they don't miss a 5.0 speed centaur. And the Jason gets pushed back. And Fox is going to be able to get his town center up here as the Jason does end up falling. Lewis has already gotten his town center up. Going to be dropping his military buildings down really, really quickly here. This is a learning experience here for TNT. So I want to give them a couple of tips on this one. In the team games against Egyptian, you really want to be getting all your economic upgrades here when you get that second town center up. Just because the fighting isn't going to happen so early here. So if you can get yourself out those buildings a little bit later, get yourself your husbandry, your pickaxe, your hand axe out, and then start getting those military buildings up, you're going to find yourself doing a lot better against a booming Egyptian player like Fox here. So a little bit of a hot tip there. Everyone can use that one. Not really an important thing to get those military buildings up so quickly. Okay. So Joe here, he's left this food out on that position. He's brought his pharaoh back somewhere over here. So, wow, 3 town centers. Joe is going for the big boom. Joe is going for the big boom. I want to go out here and give Joe a hot tip because I know he loves my build orders because he actually tried to use my build orders once. He won a game against, I want to say Joe beat Soup's Chronos in, I want to say it was 4 minutes and 30 seconds. I gave him a build. He used it a couple of times and he's forgotten it already. So, oh well. I haven't seen him use it yet. There is a sneaky build you can do with Set, which involves, basically you can get your third town centers up by 6 minutes. It involves getting a really, really fast pickaxe out. Not going to go into much detail on that, but obviously on a map like, as we already said, on a map like Oasis, those tight builds kind of don't work out too much. So getting a later town center is not the worst of ideas. One thing you can keep in the back of your mind, though, is if you are going to be planning to get 2 town centers up, sometimes it can be a good idea to start one town center without the pharaoh and then get the next town center down with the pharaoh. Would be allowing you to get a little bit more gold income in to get that town center up, that third town center up faster, allowing you to get maybe some more villages out quicker. Anyways. Huge boom coming in for Joe. Huge boom coming in for Fox, who's also gone 3 town centers, dropping farms down as well. Lewis booming, Roberts booming, and Ice Snow booming. Everyone is having a fun little time with their villages. It is Oasis. Oasis is a challenging map to kind of be aggressive on. So it makes a lot of sense here for DoD to be getting this boom off. But we'll see how things are going to go here as the units for Roberts trying to push in. Shelty is going to be more than happy with playing a defensive game here with Hades. In fact, if you take a look at what Shelty's done here, and Shelty's done this correctly, he's now only just getting his military buildings up. He's got himself, does he already have plow as well? He's got himself plow, husbandry, pickaxe, hand axe. So he's done it correctly. The thing is missing at the moment, though, actually is sentry towers. Probably could have got those a little bit earlier as the unit's pushing forward, and Roberts needs to pull back. Now, one thing that Roberts can do here, it's really, really strong against Greek, is Automaton Terma. Why is it good against Greek? Because you don't really need to build yourself Murmilla, meaning you don't need to spend as much resources on food or as much gather time on food. And that then, in turn, means you can advance ages really quickly. So you can hit timings, you can catch your opponent off guard with that as well. This is some beautiful damage getting dealt here, but Shelty's more than happy on this gold mine. Wouldn't mind seeing some more walls getting up on this back position just in case, but it's going to be really challenging for Roberts to get through here. Meanwhile, Lewis still trying to put some pressure on the front, and honestly, so far so good here for TNTB. They haven't been caught out in the early game at all, so they're getting exactly what they want. And the thing about Age of Mythology is, if you're not getting caught out in the early game, oftentimes lower level players have got some really strong mid-game strength here. As we see that shifting sands coming through. After all is said and done, Joe does manage to catch out TNT here as he's coming onto this back town center with Lewis building those units here. He's got no idea what's happening. The town center will get up and he will then know. The question is, will Snow be able to collapse down onto this position with Lewis pulling back there to help out, because Fox is kind of quartered off from that one. Fox has to break through this wall. Lewis could build some more walls down here to protect in case that does happen. And then Joe can get caught out on this back with a lot of damage coming in. But we see double siege works coming in. The chariot archers starting to come through there as well. His 4 town centers. I wouldn't be surprised to see him nearly on full villages, if not on full villages at this moment. What is he? 75. That's insane. It's such a quick boom here for Joe in these sorts of situations as the siege works are coming through, just about to finish up, putting some more pressure on. Lewis is still looking for some good damage here. He's got those automatons to break through on this position and put some pressure onto this back gold mine. We'll see if he can make his way onto that one or not, as Toxotes pushing through over here. Hippocon going to be retreating back. Toxotes going to be retreating back. We see the Migdol stronghold coming up here as well, as the Minotaur ends up getting pushed back from Snow, as Snow setting up his military buildings. Maybe a little bit late on the production here. Not yet in the next age either. Is he full villages? He is full villages. So Snow is as boomed as he's ever going to be. Obviously can get some more trade out. I'm surprised to see no trade started for Joe. Joe getting all his farms down nice and quickly here as well. Does slow him down ever so slightly. Instead, he could be going on to giraffes at this point in the game. But getting those farms set up nonetheless is going to be good for him, as we see Fox now trying to push through on the front here. Those slingers are so good against the Toxotes. The best way to play this as Lewis is just to bring those Toxotes back, force the slingers forward, and that allows the Hippocon to actually target down the slingers instead of having to only focus down the spearmen. So you can kind of get them out of position here in a good way, as Fox still pushing through here. The Greek army is still very strong, but honestly, Fox is doing a great job with his micro on those slingers, taking out all of those Toxotes on the back, while Joe is pushing in to Lewis's main base, and Lewis really cannot deal with this, getting attacked on 2 different locations. We see Shelty deciding, guys, I want to join in. Let me fight. I want to come, as the Apollo comes through here. And the thing is here that Roberts, he doesn't have any way to get over onto this position without making the long walk. There might be a potential for an Apollo to come in, and Lewis does decide ceasefire. Going to be getting dropped here. Roberts could get potentially underworlded from this position over onto the other side, but he is getting the 4th town center up. How many upgrades has he got here? Not the amount of upgrades I would like to see from Roberts. He is getting himself flood control, or has already got himself flood control, but he is missing himself that carpenter's upgrade and that quarry upgrade in the guy line. Instead of getting this town center up, you've already got the guy lush here. Getting more of those economic upgrades is a really great way to just push yourself through the stratosphere in terms of economy. But we'll see how things are going to go here. Horus is coming through for Joe already. No surprises there. Maybe a touch late in terms of what's possible for a 3 town center boom into a 4 town center grab, but that's because he's gone for the farms. But it's still going to be a brutally difficult thing to hit here, as the Ancestors gets dropped down slightly before that ceasefire ends. Not really that big of a deal, because he wants to get those out for the fight. The Elephant's going to be targeting down the town center as Snow coming through. Ancestors Eclipse getting dropped down by Fox as well onto this front position, pushing those villagers back. And this is the timing that we were talking about, that you had to be careful to avoid in this game. Lots of priests through for Fox, lots of slingers, lots of army here as the Migdol stronghold siege works getting dropped down. down. Joe cleans up Lewis's hometown center here with this attack. The villagers going to be retreating away here as well, as Joe getting some good damage done onto those hoplites here. With those chariot archers, able to retreat away, but like heavy chariots against medium hoplites, that is a tough time for anyone to deal with. As Lewis now is trying to retreat his villagers away, is cut off on this position as well with the Migdol stronghold coming in. He's going to be losing this spot here very, very shortly as well. But DoD is not pulling their punches in this game. We do see Snow going through Artemis here. That's going to be a big help. Roberts is also going through Hecate. Relatively decent timing, in all honesty, in that Hecate, though. I think 15 minutes is the aim for a Gaia player against pretty much anyone, as now Shelty has come back onto this position, trying to break through here. We see those automatons getting pulled back up as a tornado getting dropped down. Tornado gets dropped down onto Lewis's town center over here, and he's going to be losing that one as well, as Joe going up to 5 town centers at this point. Villagers retreating away over here, as Joe manages to push Snow back, and Lewis is in a very, very difficult position. Shelty here, the thing is that Shelty playing Hades, even if he's in a bad position, not quite able to like get himself that 3rd town center and beat Roberts here, he's never going to be out of this game. There's no way for Roberts to break through this position in this at this point here. Even with a good Tartarian gate in the main base here, hitting that underworld passage, even with all of that accounted for, it takes a really, really long time to kill the Hades here. And Fox and Joe have both gotten this position under wraps, and they're going to be pushing straight through Snow here. Lewis has saved some villagers on this location here, but the majority of Lewis's villagers are taken out, and Lewis does decide in that moment to tap out as the Tartarian gate gets dropped down, and Snow and Roberts will be following suit here very, very shortly, I'm sure. Let me just take a quick look at how many villages he had left. 31 only after that boom, as Thoth also coming through here for Fox. As the Chimera coming in. Don't get to see Thoth all too much. Thoth was changed a little bit in patch 6.0, but still seems like it's not that much of a popular pick, as everyone does end up tapping out. Snowdrop on the Earthquake to finish off the game. Nice try here from TNT. They got through the early game fairly nicely. I think if Lewis maybe understood a little bit more about exactly what was going on here, he could have gone for a 3 town center boom as well. That would have prevented Joe from being able to shifting sands and steal this town center, and prevented some of this pain from coming his way. He would have had a bigger boom as well. But he couldn't quite work out exactly what was going on from the side of Fox. A bit of a strange strategy from an ISIS in a team game on an Oasis to go for these sorts of a 3 town center classical fight defenses here. If we take a look at the post game, you can also see this as well. You see Fox here with a 14-minute heroic age. Very, very strange sort of game here from Fox. Really got Lewis confused in a big way. Simple answer here. Get the walls set up. Get that 3rd town center up nice and early. Get the boom going. Play defensive, play for the late game. Zeus is going to be finding the victory here against Isis in the late game and against Egyptian in general in the late game. So just have to play that defensive game plan, get your trade routes sorted up, set up, and just prevent any sort of shenanigans from that timing attack from finishing the game off. And you can find a win in this situation from the Greek side of things. But obviously, DoD too strong in this one. If you guys enjoyed it, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.